High points of going over the passes. Those are high points. Yeah.
I'm Jay and I make videos about traditional Chinese characters in alphabetical order according to the Pinyin romanization system. Welcome back to Runner's Garden. Today's sound form in Pinyin is spelled F-E-I and is pronounced Fei, as in Faye Dunaway. Probably best known for Bonnie and Clyde. She got an Academy Award nomination for that. F-A, Fei. We have all four tones, Fei, 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 and Fei today. Our first character is first tone, Fei. We have Nu, that's the woman or female radical, and Ji means self or private. Put those together, again, first tone, Fei, and it means concubine. There's a whole host of characters that mean concubine, but Feizi is one of them. Wang Fei is a prince's consort. I asked my wife because she was really good with Chinese history. I said, what's the first concubine that you can think of? And she told me right away, Wu Zetian. Wu Zetian became an empress. And she was badass ruthless, let me tell you. We're not talking like the wife of an emperor. Like she was the emperor. If you have a chance, look her up. Another first tone, Fei. We've seen this one before, way back when I was doing the characters Bei, 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 and Bei. This one meant sadness. It had what I described as ribs. We have 12 sets of ribs, but there's only 3 here. But they look like a rib cage attached to the sternum. In the Bei character, there was a heart underneath. This is the standalone component. Fei, it means not, or to be wrong. 除非 unless 除非你做完作业否则不能看电视 and here it is in simplified. Another grammatical construction is 非什么什么不可 only something will do. 学中文非用功不可 to learn Chinese one must work hard. Or literally, learning Chinese, one cannot do without working hard.
我今天非要吃到火锅不可。
Today, I absolutely have to eat hot pot. Yum. Very common term, 非常, like 非常高兴, very happy. It means unusually or extremely. 非常. 非法, something illegal, unlawful. We can now use this component to make a few more first tone Fei, and one is my favorite. With the mouth radical up front, cafe, cafe, coffee. 这个很有趣，这都是咖啡豆吗？
装饰用的。
好酷哦！
咖啡作画，
对。吗啡 morphine. The ma is horse with a mouth in front. And again, the coffee fei also has the mouth in front. With grass on top, grass radical. Another first tone, fei, as in 菲律宾. The Philippines, been there once. That's where I got my scuba license. This character on its own is fragrant, sometimes luxuriant. This one's super literary, so don't worry too much. And frugal in different senses.
"妄自菲薄."
Meaning you don't take yourself too seriously. Now you're going to see this component again a little bit later, but we'll hold off so we can finish the first tone, Fei. And here's one, to fly. Make my way back home and learn to fly. Fei Ji, my little nephew, when he was 2 or 3, he would see the trail that the airplanes made. He would say, Fei Ji Fang Pi. 1, 2, 3 would be the simplified. Obviously, you can see that there's two of those in the traditional. Make my way back home and learn to fly along with me. I can't quite make it alone. 飞机场 airport. The main international airport in Taiwan is Taoyuan 国际机场 or Taoyuan 机场 or just Taoji. We had a new teacher fly in just today. This is a care package for the new foreign teacher. His name is Ethan. We do have a second tone this time. 肥 as in 肥肉, fat. We were just talking about this last week. It is the meat or month radical with 八 肥料, fertilizer. All right, so now we can go to third tone. If you put an enclosure around this 肥, you get a bandit. 肥, 肥徒, robber or bandit. That's not gender specific, but if you really want to say a woman bandit, 女匪, or 女匪手, for woman bandit chief, 绑匪, a kidnapper. 4 more characters today, and they're all fourth tone, 匪. Going back to our inverted meat radical or month, we have this 肺, lung or lungs. The right side component is 符, second tone, and it means circular or revolving. That kind of makes sense with the whole respiratory system. 肺炎 is pneumonia. You don't want to get that. 肺癌, you don't want to get that either. 肺活量 is your lung capacity. Another fourth tone, 肺, is this one. It has the water radical, and on the side, a component that kind of looks like a ladder. This 肺is like 滚, boil. 沸点 is the boiling point. Keeping that, what I'm calling a ladder component, because it actually does look like rungs of a ladder. Put that on top of 贝, the shellfish or money radical. And this 费 is something that you pay, an expense, a fee. 费用 is the cost or expense of doing something or spending. I have to pay 管理费. That's the guard fee that we have. We have a 45 house community, and everybody has to pay a monthly fee for that. It's kind of like an HOA in the States. And it can also have the use of being wasteful, 浪费. It's a surname too. What the character sometimes means does not equate to somebody's name. So it's just a name. And our last fourth tone, 废, is this one. On the top, you can see a variant and also the simplified form and a lot of meanings such as abolish or abandon. If somebody says 废话, it means that you are just speaking rubbish or nonsense. These examples, 废水, 废气, 废纸, and 废铁, you might think it should have been the previous 废 that we were talking about with the money radical. However, I asked AI, and yes, native speakers mix them up occasionally, especially in fast typing, casual texting, or informal writing, because both characters share the fei pronunciation and deal with concepts related to spending, uselessness, or wasting. However, they are not interchangeable, and mixing them up in formal or written contexts is considered a clear typo. So the fourth tone fei with the money radical is focusing on cost, expense, effort, or active consumption. Whereas this fei with the fa component that we'll talk about, discarded, ruined, obsolete, or useless would be the meaning there. Breaking it down, on the top we have guang, which means wide or extensive. We've recently gone over this component fa, which means to give out or emit. So there's bo, which are legs, which I think look like claws, over a bow, like bow and arrow bow, and shu, a Chinese weapon, which is further broken down into the table radical ji over yo. But just think of the top of the table being like a blunt instrument that could maim somebody. We've seen this way back when we did bo, as in 정보, to dial again, to move something with your hand. That has the hand radical in front. But this one has the simplified guang component. Again, fei, to abolish or cancel. So on this huge map, you want to explain where you were?
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about it yet on the channel. First of all, just so you know,
Okay,
we are here. Yeah.
And we flew to Istanbul.
You and your wife, Trooper
Yes.
Wu.
Yeah.
Istanbul, really?
12 hours.
Wow. Did you get to look around or just stay there?
No, the airport is very far from the city.
Oh, okay.
I heard it's like 50 kilometers from the city.
Really? So you just stayed in the airport?
Yeah.
Okay, then you got another flight.
2.5 hours to catch the next flight to Geneva.
Geneva, Switzerland.
Oh, there
right
it is.
there.
Yeah. We arrived in Geneva in the mid-afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So we had enough time to catch a bus to Chamonix.
Chamonix.
So Chamonix is it's a small town in the southeast. So it's an hour from
Oh,
Geneva.
that's pretty close.
Yeah. We followed the UTMB for about maybe 60 or 70% of the whole trail, not the 100%, because UTMB is about 170 kilometers.
Woo!
So we did about 110.
In how many days?
10. Usually around 6 hours a day.
Oh, wow. 6 hours a day of trekking.
Yeah.
So you basically went to you hit 3 countries.
Yes. So Chamonix, you walk a couple days and then you kind of dip into Switzerland.
Uh-huh.
And then you come around into Italy to our town called Courmayeur. And then you go back into France. And then you're doing a circuit around the Mont Blanc range.
Mont Blanc is on here. Look at this. It says 15,771
Yeah, that's
feet.
it. It's right there. Meters is 4,800.
Wow. How is that compared to Jade?
It's 1,000 more.
1,000 more than Jade?
Almost. Jade is 3,952.
Let's see if it's on here. Probably not. Yeah, no, they don't list the mountains on our little island.
Yeah.
We did Jade Mountain.
So after we finished the hike, everyone dispersed. I was hiking with a small group of Taiwanese, and we had a Taiwanese guide.
Yeah.
And then Joanne and I went back to Geneva to get a car.
Oh.
We couldn't rent a car in Chamonix.
Yeah.
So we had to backtrack to Geneva, which was fine because we were going to fly home from Geneva anyway.
Yeah.
So we got a car and we drove into northern Italy.
Oh,
Over
wow.
here.
Oh, yeah, you went to,
This part of Italy.
and your buddy lives somewhere.
Yeah, he lives in Aosta.
Yeah. All right, let's change where we sit and get some coffee. I'll ask you more questions. Here, open this. What'd you call it?
It's called Fuck You Roo.
I think it's probably Fukaru. Whoa. You got some on your fingers there, buddy.
It's really big.
And we have to share.
Huge bag.
Like I saw them
Oh,
pack it,
really?
and they have a machine that seals it. I did an episode on the 麝香猫 cafe. That's, it goes through the civet cat eats the cherries.
Right.
And then poops out the bean and they clean them up. But you are not having that type. This is chemistry, man. They take the enzyme, which mimics what the civet cat has in its stomach. Can you guys smell that?
Smells good.
Very well.
Okay.
That's enough.
Hello.
Hello. We don't want a crotch shot there. I would like to hear about your trip a little more. So,
Sure.
package deal, are you okay with saying the price?
No problem. I can
You can divulge.
Yeah. we got our accommodations taken care of, and a lot of meals, like dinners and breakfasts.
But some were on your own.
Yeah, some were on our own. The group based in Taipei, the guide is one of the co-owners of the group. And he's for real, he's legit. He does 7,000 meter peaks in his.
Oh!
Yeah, right now he's in India doing.
That's like.
Yeah. He nearly climbed Denali. Denali in Alaska.
Mount McKinley, right?
He nearly got to the top. He said he had to go back because of the weather, but he said he was within 100 meters.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's legit. And right now he's in Kashmir.
How did you find him on the internet or how?
Very random. I mean, his company was advertising on Facebook, and Joanne, she receives a lot of mountain information.
So it was a Mandarin post.
Yes, on Facebook.
And she saw it.
She saw it, and then she said, "Oh, this looks interesting." So the total cost of the trip was about $5,000 US.
All right.
Yeah.
For a total of
11 days.
11 days.
10 nights.
Yeah. And that's airfare?
No.
No.
No. We had to pay our airfare. It was a splurge. I'm not going to tell you on camera.
Okay.
The total cost of our trip.
So
but
the actual trip was $5,000 US
for the hiking.
For the hiking part.
Yeah,
and the lodging and a lot of the meals and the transportation.
Yeah, of course.
Which was actually pretty cool because you said that if you wanted to take a 0 day in hiking, you could just travel with the luggage.
Yeah, well, Joanne did that.
Yeah.
So she actually took 2 days off.
Yeah, that's cool that you have that option.
Yeah, it was hot. We were there at the peak of the summer heat wave they were having at the end of June. I think in France it was like 40 degrees. With
centigrade.
with no air conditioning. So.
And you weren't like staying in tents. This was kind of just like your Nepal trip. You were staying in like nice.
Oh, much better than Nepal.
I mean the same in that you weren't in tents. You were going from lodge to lodge.
那个如果开到软木塞掉在里面，那个会怎样？再重新来一瓶。刚刚他帮我们倒那个香槟有没有？他大概撒了20块。
Some of the places were nice hotels in really beautiful villages like Courmayeur and Megev. And a lot of really pretty villages.
Did you find you were so tired from the trek that you couldn't, once you get to a location, that you couldn't like walk around?
No, I mean after we would arrive generally in the mid-afternoon, 3 or 4-ish.
And you didn't have to carry big packs
No.
because they had the van.
No, so our suitcases were transported by van.
So you carried a day pack.
So I carried a day pack, probably weighed about 6 kgs.
What were some high points?
High points, going over the passes. Those are high points.
That was a good one. Give me a second there.
So, I mean, because basically you have to cross over passes. And so you're climbing for several hours and you get to the pass and then you get this amazing, like 360-degree view because you're right on the ridge line between two mountains, huge mountains, right? And so you're looking in, and sometimes you'd be looking into Italy on one side,
that's so
and
cool.
France on the other. Those were some of the.
Didn't you send me? Was it your guy or
Yeah,
some other guy?
no, that was one of our members. Yeah, okay. So when we crossed from Switzerland, I think it was Switzerland into France, he was jumping back and forth. You can show the video.
Yeah.
我到瑞士了，我又回法国了，我又来瑞士了。
And I'll randomly put pictures in, but I don't know what they're from because I'm not gonna show you a picture and say where was this and then talk about it. It'll just take too much time. And I'll randomly put some shots. It's this amazing scenery that you guys saw.
It was mind blowing. Every day was just, this is the most spectacular view, and then the next day you would see something else, which is wow, this is really spectacular.
Get your camera out again, all the time, or your phone. So Trooper Wu is probably by now bit by the bug, but she's a full-fledged trekker now.
Yeah. She wants to go do Malu.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And that'll be our second time. That's in the guang upcoming video, probably.
Yeah. So Malu, we did that 4 years ago. I was looking back at the pictures we took. Time flies.
Yeah. Do you like the coffee?
It's okay.
Yeah, not bad. And we didn't add no sugar. It's supposed to, as you let it sit, the sweetness comes out a little bit more.
Yeah.
So those are the things coming up. Thanks for watching Runner's Gardens What a Character series. Our next video is about fun, and fun.